Hey everyone! This video today is brought to you in two parts. First, I'm going to do a non-spoiler review of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And then the second part will be ridden with spoilers for all of you who have stuck through and read the book and want to talk about it with me. In an effort to convince those of you who have not read this book yet to read it, I'm going to start out by saying I think this is my favorite book that I've read this year, which is saying a lot. I don't say that easily. There's definitely some great world building going on here, and the fact that it's based loosely off of Beauty and the Beast makes it that much more interesting and adds an element of, you know, you think you're going to expect what happens and then Sarah J. Maas just completely changes it up and really surprises you. And there were so many moments that were brilliant in this book and I just loved it so much. I talked about this a little bit in my last video, but for those of you who didn't watch it, a quick little synopsis is this book follows Feyre, who is living in a really poor village in this world that's divided by fairies and humans. And the humans never cross over into the fairy world, and the fairies are never allowed to cross into the human world. They've been warned against the fairies, etc. One day Feyre accidentally kills a fairy who is changed into a wolf in the woods, and she has to pay for that life that she took by going and living with the fairies in the fairylands for the rest of her life as punishment. Are we getting the Beauty and the Beast vibe? Okay, so she's trapped with these fairies, and there's one in particular that seems really drawn to her and trying to encourage her to go on dates with him, which is kind of suspicious. So we're thinking there's some sort of curse that needs to be broken, but we're not sure yet. His name is Tamlin, and he and Feyre have a really interesting relationship. It's a very love-hate relationship, which was kind of fun to watch. And in an effort not to spoil anything else, I'm going to say please pick this up. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and it was, again, one of my favorite books of the year. Alright, from here on out, now it's going to be full of spoilers, so if you have not read it, please click off the video now, and when you finish reading it, you can come back and chat with me about all of these wonderful, delicious spoilers that I'm going to talk about here in a second. Okay guys, we're getting down to business. I went into this pretty blind, I didn't even know that it was based off of Beauty and the Beast at all. I picked up on those vibes eventually, but I hadn't read or watched reviews before I picked this up because I just wanted to have a really fresh and genuine experience with it. So like I said before, Feyre and Tamlin had definitely a love-hate relationship, and I had a love-hate relationship with Feyre. As a main character, she was really strong and knew what she wanted, and she loved her family, but that didn't take away from all of the stupid things that she did. Genuinely, people would warn her, you know, don't go out into the woods, you don't know what kind of fairy you're gonna run into. But that seemed like an invitation for her to be like, oh, I'm going to just go out and hope for the best. I think I'll be fine. And the whole book I was just like, why don't you listen? But by the end, you know, she grew on me, and her taking chances ended up paying off. I was laughing while I was watching Pulling Bananas Books book talk of this book. And she had said that it was so frustrating that Feyre also didn't take time to learn to read while she was locked up with Tamlin, and then it obviously became a challenge when she went and had to do all of the tasks by Amaranth, yep. Some fun names in this one though, guys, right? Also, can we talk about the incredibly easy riddle? So Amarantha, I'm just gonna call her that because I don't really know how to pronounce her name, but she was like, oh, this is a very tricky riddle, and if you can figure it out, or if anyone can help you figure it out, you can be free indefinitely. First of all, that's really terrible wording that no one picked up on. Indefinitely, that means she could keep you there for years afterwards. Whatever. So I read through it, and exactly as it finished, I was like, it's love. This is the most obvious riddle I've ever seen. It's not a challenge. Even if Feyre couldn't read and probably could not understand this more abstract concept, someone could have helped her and been like, yo, I know that this is love, like nothing. Like this is very obviously love. Let's help you out, girl. But it didn't happen, so that was a little frustrating too. Some things I did enjoy were the relationship between Tamlin and Feyre, and I know there are some of you that are like Rhysand and Feyre shippers, and I just do not get that at all. I mean, at least, so Tamlin, he kept her there kind of against her will, but he was polite to her like while she was there, and Rhys like poisoned her and was manipulative and weird, and I just don't see how that's going to work out well in his favor. So I don't get those ships, but I did love Tamlin and Feyre's relationship. I liked the arc of her sister Nesta, because I really hated her at the beginning, but then it was interesting at the end when she kind of says like, oh, like the glamour didn't work on me and I came to look for you. So it's the surprise that her family like actually cared and wanted to see what was happening to her. I also really enjoyed getting into the 3 tasks. I thought those were interesting and the pace like just kept going through those sections. It was a little slow at the beginning, I'm not gonna lie. It took me a bit to get into it, but once we hit page 100, it just flew and I was stuck on the couch reading for the entire day. I really enjoyed it and I'm excited for the next one because apparently it's based off of other like fairy tales and people are kind of speculating what they think it's going to be about yet, but I have no clue, so should be interesting. Alright guys, well if you agreed with anything that I said in my review or want to talk about the book a bit more, don't get too spoilery in the comments. You can leave it in the comments below or feel free to message me or email me and I will gladly fangirl with you. So thanks for stopping by my little book nook of the internet and I'll see you guys next time.